on the front page, it talks about Nipah virus in the Hindu. Yes, there you have it. Nipah virus again, not to spread fear, but just to tell people, what the virus actually is, what it does, how you should be worried about this Nipah virus, and why it's, peculiar to Kerala, the state being vulnerable to Nipah outbreaks. Now, Nipah cases rise to 5 in Kerala. Yesterday, the number was just 2. There were 2 deaths and 2 people getting in contact with, the virus. 789 contacts have been kept under watch because contact tracing has been real swift. That is what we picked up from COVID-19. You know what, Nancy? Healthcare workers latest to test positive in Kozhikode. State Health Department releases a route map of the 2 deceased persons detailing their travel history. ICMR to provide monoclonal antibodies for treatment of these patients.
I mean, it's important that we are now so careful that I think Kerala government is doing whatever they can to prevent this, because viruses like this, it's just a matter of time that they will see, an outbreak when the situation can go out of control any minute. And that is what I think we have learned. You correctly pointed it out, that the COVID-19 outbreak, because we have to be careful, and I'm really glad that they made a list of the contact persons. 700 people are already on the target. So anything can happen, and cases are rising. Death toll is not that much right now. Yesterday, if we see 4 cases, 2 deaths, that's a 50% death rate. But now that I hope that if the death rates don't go up, then, and we can find a treatment to this, virus, then I think we'll be able to, this is another, I just don't want to say it, but I don't want to convert it into another pandemic.
It's not, because it's not. Let's stick to the facts. It's not a pandemic. Most certainly not even an outbreak per se, but this is how people are carrying it. That's the word that the medical bodies are also using. I was yesterday speaking to 2 doctors, one a public health expert, one a state president of Kerala for the Indian Medical Association, and both those doctors had to say that number one, there's not a lot of research that has been done. The hypothesis that, these jump zones, now jump zones are essentially areas where these bats, because it is basically a bat-borne disease. I mean, it happens from the saliva of, infected pigs and their blood and their urine. But it's usually from fruit-eating bats who then bite into the fruit, and the saliva that they leave inside the fruit gets transferred into the humans. Now, these areas, because of our heavy construction and cutting down of forests, these areas where these bats actually live, these jump zones, which is on the eastern side of Kerala, it is a plausible hypothesis that is one reason why it happens in Kerala so much. But another reason is that the doctor said that the Kozhikode area, there's a lot of wildlife over there. The ecosystem of Kozhikode is something that can be studied. Apart from that, WHO has said that there is no vaccine for it, right? There are some drugs, that can be used to treat this, some monoclonal and antibodies, some vaccines, monoclonal vaccines that can be used, but no particular vaccine, a hardcore vaccine for Nipah virus. Now, why is that? It's because ज़्यादा लोगों को होता नहीं, तो why spend that kind of money on research? And well, primarily that's actually the only reason. Why spend all that money on research that is going to go to waste? You're not going to expect 140 crore Indians to suddenly take the vaccination. But it does require a study. We must understand and learn what Nipah virus is.
Definitely. I mean, when something like this happens, even
Nipah virus can also lead to coma and encephalitis in some severe cases. So it's not something that's not dangerous. It's dangerous, and what's more, you can't distinguish whether you're getting a common viral fever, common flu, or is it Nipah virus.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, viruses like this, whenever it happens, it's important to control the information so much, because at COVID we saw the kind of because everybody was stuck at home, and then we had this information on social media, on YouTube coming out कि आप ये कर लो, आप वो कर लो, उससे कोविड ठीक हो जाएगा. People lost their lives due to it. You cannot just crush paracetamol and throw it in a shake and then you will drink it and you will get better. So misinformation like this also are on the rise, but I think we have learned our lessons. That is why thank you for clarifying it, that it is spreaded by bats who eat fruit, because last night I was reading an article and it said that Kerala government is making strict checks checks on all the fruits that are coming into the states. They're keeping a check on it, and all the fruits that are exporting out of the state as well, that it doesn't spread to another neighboring states, or goes out of Kerala right now. So I think it's important that people know this much, and government of Kerala is trying their best to control this, and so that not more people have to lose their life in this Nipah virus case.
You're absolutely right. And Veena George had said that, yesterday central teams were rushed into Kerala. The entire area of Kozhikode is under high alert. Like we're reading here, 789 people, 789 contacts kept under watch. Logo ka phone check kara gaya. The victims, the 2 people who succumbed to the Nipah virus, unka phone check kiya gaya. How many contacts they had on their phone. Contacted everybody personally, checked who they met with. That's how strictly and swiftly the Kerala government actually worked. Moreover, more than that, there are special teams that have been deployed in these various areas to check on the fruits, like you mentioned, to check on what kind of fruit is being exported, is being sent out, what kind of fruit is coming in, and these eastern areas, these jump zones. So you got to look at the jump zones, you got to look at how there is plausible hypotheses available for you to study and put in the right kind of money, place your priorities right essentially, and studying the ecosystem of Kozhikode as well. Yesterday we even heard Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia, he's taken cognizance of the fact of what's happening in Kerala. But even with COVID-19, even with Nipah virus, another aspect that one has to look at is that Kerala has 5 international airports, Nancy, and everybody is coming in and out.
Yeah, so it's going to, it's a one of the reason why we're talking about why Kerala is vulnerable to these cases is because of that, because it's a you have port city as well, it's a international flights as well. So the chances of viruses coming in from across the border is also possible. So at this point, I think Kerala government is doing the best they can to prevent it from breaking out into something dangerous and affecting the whole country with it. So I hope that we find a cure to this and a way to prevent ourselves from this Nipah virus.
Absolutely, and please don't panic, don't be scared. Cover yourselves, cover your faces with the face mask that we have been doing for so long. People here in the national capital will begin doing it in any case because it's October, and in the winters that's our second hobby. Clean, boil the saps before you eat them, wash the fruits nicely before you eat them. If your fruit has a bite mark, then refrain from buying that particular fruit. People living outside Kerala. For people living in Kerala, the government is doing enough. Spreading awareness and community engagement is the prime need, and the way one can prevent a major outbreak of the Nipah virus.